we need a 560. And if I recall, the way this works is we're going to be making pretty much every meal that we have made up until this point, which I think is a really cool way to end the game. Use every mechanic that you've learned. Not that there are a lot of mechanics to this, but like every recipe, I guess. And then it really makes sense that you've been training up until this moment. All right, King, what have you got to say? Oh, no, he's terrified. Well, this is it. Again. The beast approaches, and so we must act. Your skills are honed, your knives are sharp. I'm 70% sure you're ready this time. Alright, looks like we're going to be starting with pizza, and starting with dirty dishes as well, so maybe I get one of the chefs to start cleaning those dishes ASAP, while the other one starts making pizza bases. Or maybe the cleaning should happen while things are cooking. I think that makes more sense. Bark! Kevin! He'll help you out with supplies. The rest is up to you. Alright, Kevin is so much more dependable than the king. Alright, Kiwi, here we go. Let's see. So we can't really do anything until the center has been paired by Kevin. So we're starting off with soup. Fair enough. Okay, okay, so we need chopping block is over there. So I have to be careful of that's a fire extinguisher. Okay. We'll have to be careful of falling here. We'll line up some of these so that they can get ready for chopping. And then I'll just steal this right from you here. And we can start this one chopping. And while that's happening, I'll go run and save these dishes. The sooner we have the dishes ready, the better. What I'm going to do... I'm not actually washing the dishes. Oops. I'm going to do the trick where I have 2 soups going at a time, I think. Although, easier said than done. Get that off the burn. Or stop that from burning. Alright, so the way this works, I believe, is that there's no... What's the word? We're kind of on a time limit rather than a time trial. Well, okay, that doesn't make sense. Basically, we need to make all of these dishes happen. All these dishes that are on the, like, order line have to happen before we move on to the next dish that we have to prepare. I'm gonna try and save this real quick. Got it. Okay, here you go. One of these for you, and then we need to make more onions. Figure what I can get going is start bringing another tomato over here. That actually doesn't help us at all. And because I've positioned myself as such, I've kind of made this more difficult than it needs to be. All right, let's bring a plate over here and get these onions into the soup, finish that soup's cooking, and then bring these tomatoes back to this bowl over here. I think as long as you are relatively on top of what you need to make, it's pretty easy to 3-star this. I could be mistaken, and granted, it's been quite a time since I have done this, so don't quote me on that assertion, but I think there's a reasonable chance. I think maybe the optimal strategy is to just double chop. Alright, we need to serve this up. Let's go save this tomato soup and get a onion over here so we can start chopping it. Really don't need the fire extinguisher right now. I know it'll become relevant. I'm pretty sure it becomes relevant soon enough. But, oh, speaking of which, well, there we go. That's on fire now. Awesome. Here, we'll pass this over here, get this over here for chopping. Keep you chopping, and then you can get this next onion in. And then we need to go save that from with the fire extinguisher before it destroys our whole kitchen. Hopefully they don't mind that we got some fire extinguisher juice in in the soup, because we definitely did. Oh, fun story. Where I worked once, there was a kid, a client's kid came in and just decided, I want to see how the fire extinguisher works, and just blew up our reception in fire extinguisher juice. Was not great. Was definitely not the ideal situation. The owner was mortified. Or, sorry, the owner of the child, the mother of the child was absolutely mortified that her kid did this and was apologizing profusely. It was a strange experience, to say the least. I think we can get the soup served before it crashes. I'm gonna move a plate over here just so we have it, and I'll get these plates cleaned in the meantime, so that we're ready for whatever the next wave is. I still think we have enough time to make this work. Probably shouldn't leave the dishes on the center console in case it, okay, hold on. Oh, no. In case it disappears. There we go. All right, let's get this last one served. Then rescue our chef. Appreciate that fireball right there. Okay, let's get out of here. Unfortunately, I cannot stop the fire just yet. It was always burning since the world was turning, after all. Can do some dishes in the meantime. Okay, good to know that dishes should be done probably in the middle phase. Oh, no, it's moving. Oh, I don't like that. Okay, let's get rid of these. Okay, good. All right, so to make burgers, unfortunately, we are kind of in an awkward situation where I do not have easy access to the meat. Okay, there we go. Now I can pass over here. Okay. Okay, so it turns out I need to be over here from the get-go. I can't actually do anything. That's unfortunate. At the very least, I can grab some buns and get them plated. Okay, now's our chance. Let's get some meat going. We'll need these chopped. Everything that is burger needs meat. So we can get this on the chopping block. It's really annoying that there's only one chopping block, honestly. All right, but now we know that we need to keep that chef on the left side at all times, or on the left side at all times. Then I can pass this along so that he can start chopping or start cooking this. The other issue is if I'm uncareful. Oh, okay, I see. The other issue is if I'm not careful, I will unfortunately start burning things. Okay, because that happens. All right. Well, at least we can make a pass for this. Here, go this way. I messed that up. Definitely don't want both of them on this at the same time. Oh, no, 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 no. Okay. This is where things get a little bit trickier than is ideal. At least we can serve this one right away and get this cooking. All right, we need to get more meat chopped. We'll need lettuce chopped as well, so I'll get that going. We'll need a tomato. And then we'll also need to be in... Oh, man, this one's tricky. Also, I'm going to burn. I'm going to burn. Oh, no. What do I do? I don't actually know what I do here. Because... Oh, wait, I can salvage this. Okay, it's just enough time that we can avoid things burning. That is really good to know. I do need a bun, however. And I'm definitely not optimizing this well. There's definitely a better way to optimize this, and I'm not accomplishing that. But at the very least, I can get this lettuce chopped, and I can get your meat cooking here on this burner. I fear that I'm going to... What do I need to do? I need to finish chopping this lettuce and get a tomato chopped. So focusing is what I need to do. Okay, this is my chance. I can get this here. And then if we can chop that tomato in time, I can probably serve this before it expires. But I have to be swift. I have to chop with the power of lightning. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Okay, this burger does not need to be here. This is ready to serve pretty much. And then we need another lettuce. Okay, I think we've got this. I think we can save this. Saved it. Okay, now we need a lettuce on this burger. Something's burning. Oh no, I can't save it. I can't save a kiwi. That's unfortunate. Alright, I can pass this along to him, though, at least. Make sure that he can put that fire out. Unfortunate. That puts us behind. I think I'm gonna have a failure here. And that might cost us the 3-star, too. I need meat. I need meat chopped. Okay. Lettuce burger. I need to clean a dish, or else I can't serve it. We threw. I think we threw just a little bit. That other one's gonna go too. Oh well. Okay, focusing. I need to get a tomato, and that will at least salvage that last burger. And then I can serve a lettuce burger as well, and we'll be fine. And then in the meantime, get one more meat chopped. Oh, that meat is waiting. Okay. Serve this on a plate, and there we go. Save that one at the very least. Do I need another... I do need one more meat burger. Okay, so it resets. Good to know. So what happened here is the one that failed, it didn't just expire and never come back like it does in the other modes. It is still there. It is just it got reset basically. So I lost my combo and now I still have to make it, which isn't ideal. But I don't know. Burgers seem to not mesh well with my brain here, just because of the requirements to make them functional. Alright. We can make this happen, and that's good to serve, and now I just need one more meat. Okay, so now I can get that on a frying pan. You know what I needed to do? I could have had both chefs going back and forth to cook. I see that now. I was too focused on the here and now and not the full-out plan. Fair enough, though. I think I can salvage this. So now we should be able to serve the last burger and move on to the next phase. I think we lost a lot of time on that because I did not optimize it well. Hopefully we don't have to do another round of this boss just because I didn't realize my shortcomings, but we will see. I find it funny. I believe if you leave your chef on that platform as it flies away, you will just get taken away and have to respawn. Okay, so let's see. We need tomato. We need to make pizza. This is going to have to move because I can't grab any of the bits that I really want, but I can at least get the cheese chopped and I can get the tomato. And then what can you grab? You can grab fish and you can grab potato. Okay, chop. We need another cutting board. Oh, wait, there are cutting boards on the center console. Good to know. Can we move? We're moving a little bit, but that doesn't... Oh, it rotates. Okay, that makes sense. That makes some sense as to what I need to do now. Okay, so let's get our pizza dough and chop that. And then this fish can start frying, and I'll get the potato going as well. And when this starts to rotate, I'll just make sure that I get off of it so that I don't shoot myself in the foot and get stuck. He says, pressing his luck for sure there. Okay, so he's cut off, so I can't easily access that, but we can get this pizza cooking, and then I can bring some stuff over to him. Okay, so let's see. You need to serve this fish, and then get these potatoes cooking. Where did that mushroom come from? Well, I know where the mushroom came from. I grabbed it, but oops. Okay, we need to. In the meantime, let's get another pizza started. Okay, so that pizza's ready to serve. Let's serve it. There you go, and then. Put this over here just to plate it out. And now we need to get our next pizza going. So let's chop this, get out a cheese, which we can chop, and we'll need a tomato as well, and a sausage. I'm gonna have this guy bail out so he doesn't get caught in anything. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. Now I'm locked off. That was a bad call. Well, at the very least, I can get the fish and the potato going. Cheese needs to still be chopped, and I need a tomato as well. I'm definitely not playing this optimally, but it's mostly just from lack of knowledge of how it works. I have no idea how many extra rounds we'll have to do. This usually rotates clockwise, so I'm going to bail out just so that I don't get locked out. Cool. Okay. Good. Okay, so now we can get that on this pizza. We still need the sausage, so here, you can chop this sausage, and I will get the cheese on this, and then we need to chop the potato and the fish. Alright, get this into the oven as soon as possible. Okay, we still have access to this side, but not the fish fryer. Oh no. Well, we can't make that happen. Then we move on to our next one. We get a tomato chopped. We get a cheese and a pizza dough chopped as well. And we can serve this pizza now that it's ready to go. And I'm going to bail out over here so that I can have access to that while this chops. Okay, get the fish frying, because that's going to be our biggest potential time loss. Get you a potato so that you can chop that potentially. Alright, that fish and potato dish is just not happening in time, I think. But it's okay. Why can't I get off? Okay, there we go. Oof, salvaged it. And no, my cheese. My cheese. Okay, thinking. I need to get this fish onto a plate. So let's get this here so that I can do that. And now I can get these potatoes going. And then this will be ready to serve in a little bit. Let's go salvage this tomato. Yeah, that's just gonna fail. That's fine. And the cheese should rotate to us, so we should be fine on that front. All right. Now that that is served, I'm going to assume burritos are next. So we probably won't have to worry about the fryer anymore, but I'm not convinced we're not out of the woods just yet. Okay, one last pizza to serve. Unfortunately, we missed the timer on that, but that's fine. We've still got 4 minutes left. Oops. He's going to respawn on the wrong side, so I'm going to let this spin me to the next location, or just completely lock myself out of any access to all the things we need. This is a tad unfortunate. We're just going to let this potato drop. All right, will this rotate in time to save things? It does not appear to be... Well, I blew it. All right, I guess we'll just have to start making another pizza in the meantime. That was really unlucky. That was really, really unlucky. I think I threw, Kiwi. I do, in fact, think I threw. I choked on my pizza at the last moment. Just like life, isn't that right? Trash it. All right, let's just make sure all the ingredients are where they need to be. So I need a cheese and a tomato and a pizza crust. Okay. As long as I have one on each side, I should be able to pass along. But I think, unfortunately, I think that's probably going to be my time limit. Like, I doubt I'm going to meet the next phase in 3 minutes. We will see. We will see. Nope, nope, nope. Please, okay. Get that cooking, and we can get these dishes going in the meantime. Get you back on the left side just in case. I don't actually know. If I recall, I think the cutoff for a 3-star was like 960, so I'm not sure. Is this it? I think we haven't done anything burrito related, so I doubt it. Yeah, he wants more. Buy cheese, buy pizza ingredients, buy all you lovely things. Aw, man, I could go for some pizza right now. I actually had some pizza while I was visiting home, which isn't my usual. Okay, it's more pizza and then soup? Okay. Wasn't expecting soup on top of everything else. I need more tomato. I need dough. Dough. Everything's over here. Okay. Chop this cheese. Chop this tomato. I should probably prioritize the tomato soup because it's on deck first. Ah, goodness. I think I'm in panic mode and it's making me play a little less optimal now. Okay, so we can get this served and this here. I think we have to serve these 4 dishes within the time limit. It's 5 dishes, I can count. I promise, Kiwi, I promise I can in fact count. What I can't seem to do is, oh, it's not chopped, that's why. I'm like, why can't I grab it? Okay, so, nah, this isn't happening in 2 minutes. This is definitely not happening in 2 minutes. But we're gonna keep it going. We're gonna keep it going. Oh boy, stress. And I'm caught, darn it. Okay, I think I'm just gonna restart. Yeah, we're just gonna restart this. Okay, well, if first try wasn't the charm, second try can be. Look at that king just quivering in his... Are they socks? They're probably shoes, but I do like his mustache. It looks like a bread. Anyway, we're gonna skip that cutscene. We don't need that. I don't think I ever noticed really, but he's standing in the upper left corner right by the onion soup. Alright, let's see. I'm gonna start with the soups again, and just I think I kind of started getting the flow of how this level works towards the end. So what I need to do is I need to constantly be chopping and having someone else moving ingredients and double chop where possible. I also need to remember to do dishes, so let's get that taken care of. In the meantime, I guess this is the final level of Overcooked. What can we talk about? I guess spaghetti and meatballs. Why not? Because we're fighting a spaghetti and meatball monster. My mom was not really big on cooking anything with ground beef just because it was higher in fat and she was trying to limit our fat intake because pretty much everyone in my family has a history of heart disease on her side, so she does meatballs with ground turkey a lot of the time, and I've grown up to quite like ground turkey as the ground meat that we use. I've actually been cooking a lot with ground chicken as well. For a while it was the cheaper option at our local grocer, so I switched to that, and honestly I can't really taste the difference between ground turkey and ground chicken, especially once it's seasoned up, because most of the time if I'm using ground meat, it's to make homemade tacos, or homemade taco meat. And I am so proud, or I don't know if pride is the right word, but I'm so happy that I found a homemade taco recipe that works for us. I think I've probably already talked about it, but basically it's a tablespoon of cumin to a teaspoon of all the other good things, so salt, basil, oregano, onion powder, garlic powder, chili powder if you want. You can probably do like a half a teaspoon at most. You can toss in a little bit of red pepper flake if you're that kind of person, but for us, Kiwi and I are just like such lightweights to wet red pepper flakes for some reason. They just absolutely like sweat us out. We barely need any to notice them, so we usually either leave them out or do like less than 1/8 of a teaspoon to have the effect that they give, which is kind of funny to us. Like, we're such wimps about it. Oh, I need to serve the soup. Come on. Oh, there we go. Anyway, the so yeah. Oh, it's raining fire. Cool. All right. Where's the fire extinguisher? There it is. All right. Okay. Things are happening all at once. Save the soup. Okay, we're good. We're good. So yeah, for every tablespoon of cumin, 1 teaspoon of salt, oregano, basil, garlic powder, onion powder, and then the things that are less than that, maybe half a teaspoon. I usually do half a teaspoon of pepper, half a teaspoon of chili powder if I'm feeling like I'm in the mood. And that's per pound to pound and a half of meat. And what I usually do is I brown the meat in a pan. I usually brown it from being frozen. For some reason, I find it inherently satisfying to just kind of shear off the meat as it gets cooked, and just saute it with. Well, I saute a whole like usually about 2 onions and 2 to 3 cloves of garlic per pound of meat. Saute that first, then thaw the meat in that saute, and then mix all that together. I add a small can of diced tomatoes, like I think they're 16-ounce cans maybe, or 12-ounce cans of diced tomatoes, just to add a little bit of moisture, and then sometimes I add a little bit more water, because you want to have enough water in the pot so that you can toss in the taco seasoning, and then all right, on to the next phase. You want to have enough time for the taco meat to really like kind of simmer in the water. So what I'll do is I will before I add the water or the tomatoes, I'll saute the meat and onions with the taco seasonings. Oh, I'm kind of stuck. Okay, we can pass this along. Okay, there we go. Whew. That was a lot of fire. Oh, can I might be able to go back behind the frying pans. I don't think I noticed that in the last round, and that was quite a bit of a problem. Maybe I can use that to my advantage this time if I remember. Anyway, so I like to saute the spices before I get everything super wet with the tomatoes and the water that I add. But once everything's sauteed, then what I'll do is I will usually put a lid over the frying pan and just let it simmer for a good half hour at minimum, upwards of an hour. And it just infuses the meat. It makes the meat nice and tender. It infuses it with a delicious flavor of the taco seasoning. And I'm quite happy with the outcome of that. And it's funny, taco night for Kiwi and I is every time we make tacos and nachos, the arrangement always has something different for some reason. Like, we have, okay, there we go. So I can do that. All right, that helps a lot to realize. I'm a little annoyed at myself for not noticing that on the last playthrough, but we're fine. We're fine. I think I'm making good time, but I can never really tell. We'll see. Anyway, whenever we have taco night, it's always a different arrangement every time, it feels, because I mean, there's always something new that we add. We always do like Southwestern style corn we'll put on it. I like to add refried beans. I recently did black beans for our most recent taco night. We've made homemade queso before, which was fun. You kind of melt a mixture of American cheese, some cornstarch. I forget what else. There might have been some milk to it to make it a little bit looser. I don't know. It was pretty good. And then I bought some jalapenos. I've never actually bought raw jalapenos. I usually buy them in the jar, like the pickled sort. And it was fun to just like chop those up. It was impressive that I guess I don't eat a lot of spicy food very often. I don't dislike it, but it doesn't always agree with my stomach, let's say. So it's always kind of novel when I get to eat spicier things, how my body reacts, but also how like my senses react. The weird thing that my body does when I am eating spicy food is my eyebrows sweat. My eyebrows and eyelids sweat, and it almost looks like I'm crying. There's just so much water coming from my face. But that's been something I've known about since high school, pretty much. I think that's when it started. But my high school used to on Fridays were pizza and calzone day for their like arrangement of what they would, well, for their menu. and I would get they would have buffalo chicken calzones, and they were just spicy enough to trigger that from me. And my friends would always be like, "What is going on with your face, Jeff?" And I'm like, "I can't help it. My face just sweats with spicy food." Oh man, those were the days. I miss my school lunches. I mean, since I'm rambling about Mexican food, like our go-to, or pretty much at my high school, pretty much every day could be taco day if you wanted. They had like 3 arrangements for where you could get food. The daily special, which on Mondays was chicken nuggets, on Tuesdays was tacos and nachos, or more specifically, it was nachos, and then Wednesdays were Italian food, so like pasta and meatball hero and spaghetti sauce. Thursdays were burgers, and Fridays was pizza and calzones. But there was always a pizza station at all times. I don't know why they like specified Friday as pizza day when they're already just serving pizza every day, but it was like double pizza. I don't think there was anything fancy about it. It was just more pizza. But I digress. So so they had the special of the day. They had the pizza stand, and then they had the burrito / taco stand, and that was a consistent staple. So basically my routine was, like, sometimes I'd go with a daily special. Like some Mondays I would do my something that I showed Kiwi that she was like surprised. This is so basic, but it's kind of good. Is they would have a mixture of tomato and rice soup, chicken nuggets, and like crackers I usually put, but I would mix the tomato. I would cut up the chicken nuggets and put it into the tomato soup. And we did that recently, where we just like bought a can of Progresso tomato basil soup, popped it in the and then got like chicken nuggets and put it in the soup. We mixed it with some rice, and we put croutons over the top. And it was like, it's super basic. It's not any sort of high fancy cooking, but it was good. It's like, you know, the simple pleasures. Like, I'll never be a fan of those who say you can make chicken parm by taking chicken nuggets and tossing some mozzarella and tomato sauce all over them and put it in the microwave. Like, having made homemade chicken parm that I'm actually quite proud of, I don't think I could ever, I don't want to say sink that low, because that doesn't feel fair. It's if that's the sort of thing you want, go for it, follow your dreams. But for me, I have tasted something better, and I don't think I can go back, is how I would look at it. It's funny, I went to a pizzeria, and they had all these like these non-pizza dishes, and I'm like, oh cool, they serve chicken parm here. And my metric for Italian restaurants when I'm not sure what I want is usually I'll just get chicken parm and like compare restaurants that way. But this pizzeria did exactly what I was describing. It was straight up like chicken patties, microwavable chicken patties with tomato sauce and mozzarella sprinkled over the top, and I'm like, this is so disappointing compared to what I was hoping it would be. I mean, maybe it's my own fault for expecting a higher standard from a pizzeria just on a random like strip mall, and I'm not going to complain. It was still what it was. It was still good for what it was. It just, I went in with higher expectations than I think the pizzeria strictly deserved. I should have just gotten pizza. That's my fault. Anyway, well, where was I? Like, I have gone on like 3 different tangents to I don't even know. Kiwi. Hey, this spinning platform in the center is quite hard to metric. Oh geez, burning. Hold on. Resetting brain. Okay. So, I guess what I talk about next is... Right, I was just saying, so basically, most of the time, like, I was never that big fan of the school's burgers, and I was always having, if I had the choice between a burrito and nachos, like, I think now in my life, I'm more on the camp of nachos, but I almost exclusively stuck with the burrito at school. And let's not talk about the sheer volume of ranch dressing I consumed in high school, because they had, like, the little Heinz condiment stands that had, like, a mixture of ranch dressing, Italian dressing, and then the usual mustard, ketchup, sort of arrangements. But I would put pretty much anything I bought from that lunchroom that I could put ranch dressing on, I put ranch dressing on it. And a lot of those things probably shouldn't have had ranch dressing put on them. Like, someone's gonna be really disgusted when I say I put it on my spaghetti and tomato sauce all the time, on my chicken nuggets, on the burgers, on the burritos especially. Look, there was a reason why I was at the heaviest in my life during high school, and I think it was mostly because of the ranch dressing. Like, I had a problem. I definitely had a very unhealthy eating habit there. But for what it's worth, I was happy. I was enjoying my lunches. I miss school lunches. Not only were they subsidized, so they were like $2, $2.50 to get like a full tray of food, but it was more just the shared experience with my friends. I miss just having lunches with friends on a regular basis. We could play Pokemon, we could have fun conversations about what we were watching. You just don't get that as much with adulthood, do you? You're too busy with your profession, and it's a somber feeling, to say the least. Or maybe not somber, but definitely lonely. But I mean, that all said, I still have Kiwi to talk to about a lot of fun things, and I can reach out to my friends through Facebook or through, like, whatever social media we're connected on, or if nothing else, a text message here or there just to say, hello, hope you're well. But it's not quite the same. You're not physically there. I miss my group of friends. It's sad that I'm a little somber about moving away from them, but I overall, I would say, while my social circle is a very tiny, maybe just single line, we have more recently been making efforts to reach out to friends and communicate with them and share, maybe not space, but time with them. And we've got a little group chat going on with some other people we've met through a mutual friend of ours, who we just kind of every couple weeks meet up to talk about whatever gaming news and games that we've played and random icebreakers just for shits and giggles. And it's been pretty fun. It's nice to have new people that I can kind of do that with too. I mean, the nature of my work, kind of traveling and meeting new people, it's always on a professional level, so it's rare that I get to schmooze with them about like my casual passions, if you will. But nonetheless, I've lost my train of thought again. Oh, right. So what I was just trying to say is, pretty much every day in high school, I would eat burritos, and I'd coat them in ranch dressing. I would put whatever I wanted on those if I cared. Like, if my friend had a chicken nugget they were willing to spare, I'd put it on that. I love putting goldfish. Like, I have a weird relationship with goldfish on top of ranch dressing. Not that I mix those two very much together. Not just goldfish and ranch dressing. It was usually those two on top of something with ranch dressing, like pizza or the burrito. And yes, I know, again, this is probably kind of gross. You can't control the whims and taste and palate of a high schooler, even if you wanted to. It is nonsense. It is unhealthy. It is exactly what it is. For better or for worse, that is what it is. All right, we are coming up on the final dish, and I really appreciate that the final meal is a salad, the first thing you ever cooked in this game. Buy Brussels sprouts. Buy Brussels sprouts? Buy Brussels sprouts. The beast, it is full. Quick, take cover. Man, I couldn't have put any less emotion into that delivery, could I? Well, I certainly could, but I too have exploded after eating too much. It is not a fun experience. But there we go. Overcooked 1, 100% complete. Honestly, such a solid game. Mechanically tight, satisfying, really fun to try and speedrun or just time or score attack on. Absolutely recommend it to anyone who's never played this game before if you like that kind of mechanically intense, non-combat sort of game. It's a lot of fun, and honestly, it's amazing with co-op. It is so much fun with co-op. It's a game that is, because it's so mechanically simple, it's very easy for family to pick up, even if they don't really play video games. I would definitely recommend this being kind of an entry to video games with family if you're trying to get them into your hobby. For example, Kiwi actually has played this a bunch with her family, to my understanding, and back when we were in grad school, it was one of the most common party games we played together with our group of friends. That and, of course, Mario Party and Mario Kart and Smash. Of course, Smash. The classic party games, but I would definitely consider this a top tier, like S tier, couch co-op party sort of game. for those who aren't prone to getting stressed out of with micromanagement, it's definitely a game that I now properly recognize can be inherently stressful when you're trying to time attack and get those 3 stars, especially when you're coordinating with either yourself as 2 characters or with a partner. And certainly Kiwi has expressed similar feelings of, wow, this is stressful. This is a little bit more than I want to do. I want casual and chill, and maybe this isn't the game for that. But if you're looking for a fun co-op challenge, there are a few games that I can think of that fits that casual with a bit of stress. And of course, if nothing else, my favorite thing is when you're playing PvP with your friends, steal their meals. Let them make their full meal, and right as they put that last finishing touch ingredient, grab it and serve it yourself. It is so funny. I know I'm a troll. I know I deserve the lowest, the single greatest punishment in life. I know. But I have a very fun memory of one of our friends who, after doing exactly that, lit the entire kitchen on fire and then held the fire extinguisher so no one else could put out the fires, and the entire kitchen just slowly burned as the game had like 3 minutes left. She was done. She was done with my BS and just said, "We're gonna burn the world. This is your fault. Everything is burning and it's your fault. I hope you feel bad. This game is over. It is mine now." It was a fun memory with a fun game at its core. But genuinely, this game is fun to speedrun if you're looking for a game to speedrun, and like every speedrun requires some mechanical prowess, unless you're speedrunning maybe like a visual novel. And even then, menuing, like getting good at menuing in speedruns is an art in and of itself. But I would say really this game has what, like 3 core mechanics: chop, put thing in thing that you chopped, and obviously it's more than that, but really it's just it's just the X button to chop, and then whatever your dash button is to dash. And those are really the only 2 buttons you need to play this game and speedrun it. And then it's just knowing the mechanics beyond that, like the in-game mechanics between washing dishes, chopping, cooking, and those sorts of things. But it is a satisfying game to speedrun. So if you're ever looking for a casual speedrun, I think this is a good one. And if not, it's just fun to score attack on, honestly, just see what the highest possible score you can get is. And I will definitely say that playing this game without providing commentary is a lot easier than playing it with. It's just, you need to make so many rapid action, like fast-paced decisions. Save the kitchen, put out the fire, cook this, wait for this to just be on the verge of burning, but then you can salvage it while you're getting something else started. There's a lot of optimization and in-the-moment decision-making, which makes it really, really fun for me. But I don't know what else to say. It's just, it's an all-around fun game. I don't know if I'd call it my favorite game. I think I have some stressful memories associated with it, which maybe knocks it down a peg. And it doesn't have the narrative or the musical arrangements that really stick with me. But when I think of games that I want to play with my friends, this is definitely up there. This is hands down one of my favorite party games. Maybe not my personal, like, solo playing game, but hands down, Smash and this game are probably my top 2. I have friends over, I want something fun and easy to learn and quick. Well, okay. Maybe I shouldn't say that about Smash. Smash is by far not easy to learn, but easy to start playing and have a good time, maybe. This one, I would argue, is pretty easy to learn, even if you're not going for the 3 stars, like, just casually. It's pretty easy to beat a level. If you do the bare minimum, there are definitely going to be those levels that you absolutely hate, like our ice levels and our lava levels, which Kiwi and I both, through this playthrough you've heard, I've lamented their existence. And it only gets worse in Overcooked 2, which I don't know if I'm going to dive right into Overcooked 2. I'm feeling a little bit something different. I just played through Fury, and so I'm thinking about maybe starting 9 Sol. That or Sekiro. I'm in a parry combat focused kind of mood, and then keep going with Hades on the side, just because, I mean, Hades is my comfort food right now. It is very much my comfort food. If you haven't noticed, the channel has been pretty much exclusively been uploading Hades. That wasn't necessarily by design. It is, my work schedule does not permit me to have much in the way of free choice right now. But we're just going to let the credits play out, and then unless we unlock anything fancy, that's probably where the video will end. Thank you so much for joining me on this little romp. a pretty short playthrough, and it's nice. I got what I needed out of this game, except for a chill, casual experience that I don't know how I went into this game and expected that to be what was going to happen. It was anything but. It was not chill. It was not casual. I mean, it was still casual, obviously, but it was stressful. It was very stressful. But yeah. Also, fun fact, Team 17. I just saw a trailer for a new game called Date Everything, which looks like a dating sim where you put on glasses and everything you see through those glasses, whether it's your refrigerator, your couch, your vacuum, when they're looked at through the glasses, they become anthropomorphic human things. And it's apparently being published by Team 17, and I'm like, that looks so familiar. Where have I seen the name Team 17? It's literally the publisher of Overcooked. I'm like, oh, huh. Small world, I guess. For those who it matters, Stephanie Sterling of the Gymquisition is one of the writers on that game, and Kiwi has been a follower and a fan of Gymquisition since its inception, pretty much, I believe. She's got little pins of the hat. Back in the days of the early escapist fame, back in the days of Total Biscuit, it was basically Total Biscuit and the Gymquisition were the two things that Kiwi watched a lot of, and of course Yahtzee Zero Punctuation, since I'm mentioning the escapist. For the life of me, when I was young, I couldn't tell the difference between Yahtzee and Total Biscuit. If you're a real OG, you'll remember he used to be called Total Halibut. I think that's when I discovered him. Man, John Bain was a legend, and I am so sad that we lost him. I hope his wife is doing all right. I haven't really followed that situation, and it's not really my business to know, but I wish them the best. They certainly gave me a lot of fond memories and introduced me to a lot of games that I might have never otherwise touched. And I don't know, it's weird. We've gone on quite the tangent now, haven't we? But I digress. The point being is, I very much enjoy Jim Sterling's writing. I think when they go out of their way to write passionately and well, they can write really, really damn well. And say what you will about their political and socioeconomic and video game views. It's not really, I don't really have a leg in that race, so I'm going to hold my opinions to myself on that one. I will just say that I tend to enjoy listening to what they talk about. But if it's not your cup of tea, I understand. I may not agree with you, but that doesn't mean I'm going to deny you your ability to have an opinion. For Kiwi and I, though, it is a Monday routine to watch the Gymquisition. It isn't Monday if we haven't watched it, which is why last week it wasn't Monday until about 2 days ago, which is Thursday, I think. Or, no, Friday. So, it is good to be home, though. It is so good to be home. Sadly, I'm going to be going away in another 2 weeks, so we'll kind of have another round. Maybe that's when I'll do Furier. Furier on the higher difficulty. But I think I should keep the series at home and the series at family home separate. These credits go on for quite a while, don't they? They're giving me the credits for Overcooked 1 and 2. I guess because this is the, I don't even remember, but it's the game that has the two combined. I have been rambling for a good while, though, waiting for these credits to time out. So, I'm trying to think. Anything else I have to say? I mean, I think bananas are a fantastic fruit. I call them the best support fruit. Like, there are fruit that carry their own flavor, and bananas absolutely do that, but I think so many other fruits taste better when banana is thrown into the mix. And I guess this is a weird tangent. Since we're talking about YouTubers that Kiwi and I follow, anyone else out there who enjoys Josh Strife Hayes' work? Apparently the man has never tasted banana before, and is now vehemently and stubborn-headedly avoiding it at all costs, so he'll never know. And then he hopes that on his epitaph, on his gravestone, when he finally passes, he can write, "Here lies Josh Strife Hayes, a man who never knew the taste of banana," or something like that. It's ridiculous. Like, my entire life is centered around enjoying new tastes of food, and I could never imagine depriving myself of something that's so easy to come by. Like, when I visit new locations, one of the first things I look for is, are there any fruits that I can't find where I live that I could experience for the first time? Like, for example, one thing that I really want to try is yuzu. Yuzu is a citrus fruit found in the eastern continents. I know it's popularly used in Japanese cuisine, and I don't think I've ever tasted it, and I'm quite interested to try it one day. And I mean, the reality of the situation is we'll likely not get to go abroad for many years. I'm saving up, but we've got a lot of other expenses, particularly student loans, to get through before we'll ever be allowed to do that kind of level of vacationing. But with all that said, when we do, I'm definitely going to taste yuzu. I think the main fruit that I tasted in Germany that I'd never had before was Johannisberries. They were these little red berries that look like the sort that you'd find on like bushes that are usually poisonous. But they were sold in a grocery store, so I assumed they weren't poisonous, and they were okay. They were very tart. I think they're definitely better suited to baking and and pastry than maybe eating outright. Granted, it also could have been that I didn't know what they look like when they are ripe, and so I didn't give them enough time to ripen. It's hard to know. While we're on food tangents in Germany, I remember, so realistically speaking, it was my first time ever cooking for myself, and I didn't know better. I took a small pot, and I put 2 pounds of raw pasta into it. And you better believe that that pot just overflowed with pasta by the time it was done cooking. But, we unlocked the Beast, or whatever it was. I forget what it's called, but he referred to it as the Beast. New Game Plus. It's time for a new challenge. There's a 4th star to be collected, but it's not going to be easy. Why do you do this to me? Game, why do you do this to me? Oh, that 4th star is in fact tempting, but I think that's a challenge for another day, Kiwi. I have rambled long enough, and this has definitely gone on long enough. So, with all that said, Kiwi, I hope you've enjoyed watching, and if you're awake, I hope this is helping you fall asleep. If you're asleep, I hope you're sleeping well. I love you. Thanks for joining me on Overcooked, and maybe I'll finally convince you to play it with me again once you get over the fear and the stress associated with trying to 4-star this game. I'm certainly having some PTSD. But until the next one, enjoy. See you next time.